The question reads, first part is how are chromatin, chromosomes and DNA related? Now let us see the answer to this question. So chromatin, chromosomes and DNA are the three parts which are closely related components of genetic material in cells, playing crucial roles in how genetic information is organized and expressed. So they help in the transfer of genetic material from one generation to another. First is DNA. Now this is the fundamental molecule that contains the genetic instructions for living organisms, as it consists of the genetic material and it is made up of two strands that coil around each other to form a double helix. So DNA is present as two strands that coil around each other and they form a double helix like a structure. Second is chromatin. This is the complex of DNA and proteins, mainly histones, which are found in the nucleus of eukaryotic cells. So, in eukaryotic cells, DNA is present inside the nucleus and it is packaged in form of chromatin. So, DNA along with proteins that are known as histone, they package in eukaryotic cells and they form the chromatin material. This cannot be done in prokaryotic cells as DNA lies scattered in the cytoplasm, as there is no nuclear membrane that is present in the prokaryotic cells. Now chromatin helps to package the DNA into more compact, dense structure, making it easier to fit within the non-dividing nucleus. So chromatin is made of DNA and proteins and it helps to package the DNA, but it is present in non-dividing nucleus where it forms thread-like structures. Now let us read about chromosomes. They are the highly organized structures that DNA takes on during the cell division. So they appear when the cell decides to divide. When a cell prepares to divide, chromatin will condense into visible chromosomes, ensuring that DNA is accurately replicated and distributed to the daughter cells. So when the cell needs to divide, the DNA will also replicate so that it is distributed to the daughter cell. So this is the type of chromosome that is formed during the cell division, and it consists of two sister chromatids that are present, that consist of two strands of DNA that needs to be transferred to the daughter cell, and DNA replicates during the cell division. So each chromosome will consist of two thread-like chromatids which are shown here that makes the sister chromatids. Hence DNA is the molecule that carries the genetic information. Chromatin is the form that DNA takes when it is packaged with proteins. So DNA along with proteins, it will form the chromatin material which is present in a non-dividing nucleus. And chromosomes are the highly condensed structures formed from the chromatin during the cell division. So chromosomes are the condensed structures that are formed from the chromatin during the cell division. Now let us read the next part of the question, which says, which part of chromatin is associated with control of characteristic in living organisms? Now let us read the answer to this question. So chromatin folds itself into chromosomes, which are the ones to define characteristics in living organisms. So when the cells divide, chromatin will condense itself into chromosomes and they define the characteristics in living organisms. They are called the hereditary vehicles because they carry genes and transmit them to the daughter cells. So they are known as hereditary vehicles as they help to transfer the genetic information from one generation to another. Now functional segments of DNA are called genes. So DNA has some segments which are called genes. Genes carry information for protein synthesis, which in turn control the development of characters. So genes help to transfer the genetic information by carrying the information for the protein synthesis. Since genes are present on the chromosomes and chromosomes pass from one generation to next through gametes, because half of the chromosome come from one parent and half of the chromosomes will come from other parent. So chromosomes will pass from one generation to other through the gametes that are formed through meiosis. So genes are called hereditary units as they consist of the information which are required to be transferred from one generation to another, DNA as hereditary material, and chromosomes as the vehicles of hereditary material, as they carry the DNA and DNA carries the genes which are to be expressed in the next generation. I hope you understood this question well. Thank you.